I was like completely fine with like moving on, and like I thought it was all her fault. And it had been 2 months since I moved out, and I was just like working out a lot. I cut my drinking back by 85%, and I was just like feeling really good about myself, and like ready to just move on or whatever. I'm pretty sure it was your ad. It might have been someone else's, but I saw um like a question like, if you knew for sure you could get your wife back, would you do it? I thought about that question for a little bit, and I was like, I mean, I guess I kind of would, maybe. I like thought about more. I was like, you know what, if I just did all of these things that I'm doing right now while I was married, then I wouldn't have be in this position probably. And then I was like, wait, this was my fault. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna see what he has to say. And I think I watched every single YouTube video and then sent a an inquiry. And
Where are you guys at now, though? Now that you're after these 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
I mean, she's like telling me like, when are we gonna start having kids? When are we gonna start having kids? I want to do it now.
Wait, okay. How long you guys have been married together?
We were married since September 2021.
What did she do that caused you to want to leave the marriage?
Just made me feel like crap all the time. Just like nothing I did was good enough. I
Mm,
how hard I tried, she didn't appreciate it. Um, there was always just like do more and more and more. Um, and so like that really got to me.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then I'd like it was a slow buildup of resentment that I kept trying to like ignore, but it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
But now after like going through the program, and do you have a different lens or perspective on like those behaviors that made you not feel good enough?
Yeah, I really liked the blind man analogy thing.
Mm,
Like I'm not holding it against her that she's not putting herself in my shoes, and I'm also not looking for like validation in my work from her. Like I'm just proud of my work. So, you know, and I've just gotten a lot better at like timing the right time to say, try to imagine this, and then like use an analogy that like of something part of her job and be like, how would that make you feel? And then
mhm.
she answers it and I go, well, that's kind of sort of what it's like for me when I go through that. And not even say like, and what you said was bad after, but just
Right.
letting her draw the conclusion of like, oh, you're right, I shouldn't,
Yeah. So
yeah,
by framing things differently in your communication, you're getting her to take more responsibility and see things from your perspective more.
definitely. Yeah. I think taking her for granted was a big one, like not acknowledging uh the stuff that she does, because a lot of times she's trying to do something for me, and just because I think it's a little silly doesn't mean, and like it might mean the world to her. Like I need to bring myself up to like that level that she's expecting, and since I've been doing that, she's been kind of mirroring that back. So right, for sure. I think she definitely feels like I get it more. Like instead of being like, why haven't you taken the trash out in a really angry tone? She'll be like, "Oh, somebody needs to take the trash out." So I've been joking with her. I'm like,
Somebody here needs to take the
"Yeah,
trash out.
yeah." So I've been joking with her that her cutesy nickname for me is somebody.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Jack. I want to
Other
use that
people
one.
other
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
have nicknames as somebody. Yeah. I had like a pretty big advantage in the fact that um, uh, we own a brick and mortar business together. So I would want to acknowledge that first because I got to spend all day with her without feeling being appearing needy. So
Mm, mm,
that helped speed the process up a lot. But I think all the thing I would tell them the most is like do the program exactly the way it is. Like don't like make sure you cover everything, do it twice if you have to, and don't skip ahead. And um, it will work. The hardest part's going to be like shifting that mindset from, I can't live without her to, feeling like you could and you're going to be just fine. And in fact, you're going to a superstar on your own without her. Then you'll be able to start to behave like the man that she's going to want. I just kind of made sure that I never skipped the gym, made sure that I was doing all the work I need to do to sell my half of the company extra hard. Just working on my mindset, make sure I'm reading books, writing stuff down. And then once I was performing the way that I should, oh, and the drinking thing was a big one too. Once
Right.
I once I did those things, um, that's when it clicked to me like I'm gonna be just fine, and I'm just gonna go start another company, and some other woman's gonna love me too, and everything's gonna be
You know,
okay.
it's fun.
Getting visual feedback on something that has delayed gratification too, and like
Mm.
you could keep getting better at it and better at it. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. It works so well, and I think it's a really good program. Like, have you or will you take outside investment? I mean, it means so much to me that like my entire life is going in a completely different, better path than I could have otherwise done. And all it took was like a little bit of guidance, and really glad I found you guys.